Hi, everybody. We are going to continue learning about Pythagorean theorem. So this is Pythagorean theorem continued. Go ahead and write that down. If you do need to pause the video, you can do so. We're going to start again with our right triangle. And so we have a right triangle. And just as a quick reminder, for Pythagorean theorem, we have A, B, and then C is when you draw from that right angle to the hypotenuse, that one is C. And again, I'm going to remind you that that is called the hypotenuse. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be giving you two lengths, and you're needing to find that third length. Now, if it does not turn out to be a square root that you know, you are going to leave everything as a square root, and we're going to go over that in a second. So we will start off with an example. So I have my right triangle. And I have 6x and 18. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you label A, B, and C. You should have labeled A is 6, B is x, and then C is 18. Now, you could have labeled B is 6 and A is x. That's fine. Those are interchangeable. It doesn't matter. When we do set up our Pythagorean theorem, just as a quick reminder, Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So that's always what we're trying to work towards when we're doing Pythagorean theorem. This will be a, which is 6, plus x squared, or b squared, equals our c squared, which is 18. So in this case, we're not trying to find the hypotenuse, we're trying to find one of the legs. So when we do that, that'll be 6 squared, which is 36, plus x squared equals, I don't know 18 squared off the top of my head, so I do need my calculator, 324. And then you subtract 36 to solve for x. And that'll be 288. So just like before, to figure out what x is, you're going to square root both sides. And if I put that in my calculator, if I put the square root of 288, you'll notice that I do get a decimal, okay? You don't want a decimal. You just want to leave it as the square root. So I'm going to leave it as the square root of 288. That is a perfectly fine answer. It's actually the preference when you get to integrated 2 to leave things as that. You'll learn how to rationalize that and reduce it down. But right now, it is the preferred way to just leave it like that. So I'm going to write a little asterisk here for you. And it's going to say, leave answers as square roots if they are decimal answers. That's called being irrational, and we're just going to leave it as the square root, okay? So I'm going to have you do a couple of examples. So go ahead and find the missing piece of both of these triangles. Okay, go ahead and do those and submit your answers. So when I do these, I do want to always label. So I have A, B, and C. So in this case, I am looking for that hypotenuse. So that'll be 5 squared plus 7 squared equals x squared. 25 plus 49 equals x squared. So that'll be 4, 1, 5, 6, 74 equals x squared. So the square root. And if I put that in my calculator, square root of 74, you'll see that I get a decimal. So I don't want that. So I'm just going to leave it as the square root of 74. And then for example 2, I'm going to have a, b, and c. Again, those are interchangeable. That's fine. X squared plus 3 squared equals 11 squared. So x squared plus 9 equals 121. Subtract 9. X squared equals 112. And when you square root that, that's not going to square root. So I'm going to leave it as the square root of 112. Okay. And that's how you're going to solve those problems. So thanks for watching.